Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your tarot reading. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. Either way, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to pull a traditional Celtic cross spread. Whatever message the collective needs to hear is the message that we are going to get today. I've set that intention with this deck and with my guides. So if this is in your feed, then this message is for you. And if you are here because of the title, then this message is definitely for you. And this can be for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, wherever you have Scorpio placements. Be sure and like the video for me. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you like the messages, or you can just hit that thumbs up for me. All of your interactions really do help to grow my channel, but they also push the messages out into the algorithm so that others can get the guidance that they need as well. So I really do appreciate you guys doing all that for me. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we had the Page of Cups. So the pages are the messengers of the tarot. And with the Page of Cups, this is about some kind of emotional message, emotional intelligence, maybe like wanting to send a message or receiving some kind of message that makes you emotional, right? So this can be like, it could also be like intuitive messages that are coming in, right? But this is like some sort of communication or message that is going to be very heartfelt, or like that inner child happiness. Even I just feel like it's, pages are playful and um, just real giddy and happy. So I definitely feel like there's some sort of communication or message here, whether that is again from your own intuition or you receiving or giving a message. So the situation here is you, the King of Cups. This is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. So this is about you knowing who you are, right? Stepping into your personal power. You're confident. You are compassionate. You're very nurturing, very understanding. So I feel like this reading really is about you and what you're going through, your emotions, right? So maybe you're hoping for some sort of, and this can be male or female, right? It's just because it's a king doesn't mean it has to be masculine energy. I don't do male female. I do masculine feminine energy, which we all have. So maybe you're really hoping to send some sort of a message, or maybe you're really just hoping to get a message, right? Be able to fully express yourself. And your feelings here. So the blockage is the Tower. The Tower is about change, right? And it can be like chaos and conflict, right? Like I don't really like to look at it that way. Yeah, it is like sudden change and upheaval, but it's also a change that's for the better. Like this tower is falling because it wasn't built on a solid foundation, right? So now things can be built more solid and more stable. So I just feel like with this being a blockage, your resistance to some kind of change, right? Like you're not embracing changes, or you're hanging on because you have a fear of letting go, right? So maybe this is about a fear of letting go of a mindset, or a fear of letting go of a certain situation. I just feel like this is about you needing to embrace some sort of change that's going on internally or within your life, right? It's very close to you because this situation is about you needing to remain emotionally balanced through these changes. So the root cause of this is the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is about moving on, transition, moving from one way of being to another. This can also be like physically moving, right? But moving forward. So I feel like you are holding on to a person, place, thing, mindset, whatever that is for you. Whatever it is you're holding on to will be different for each of you, but there is like this need to move on and move forward, accept a lesson for what it is, and then move to a new way of being, a new way of thinking. I just feel like you're not able to move on from a difficult situation for whatever reason, right? Like this could be the end of a marriage. This could be the end of a job, right? And that's very hard for you to accept. Like you can't let go of whatever this is. I feel like this could be possibly like a relationship, whether that's in love or with like family, only because we have the Ace of Cups and Page of Cups here, which we'll get into the Ace, but this is very close to your heart. So, or, maybe you feel like you can't express yourself completely because you're fearing the changes, right? There's just something about needing to accept a change or really move on from a situation and don't hold on to it anymore, right? Because these things need to be resolved, and we need to move forward. So in the recent past, what is still affecting this situation? We have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so this is, trapped in a mindset, trapped in your thoughts, feeling restricted, feeling like you can't move forward, feeling like you're trapped where you are, right? And it's causing you to not move forward or to not accept this change and embrace things that are wanting to move forward here. So, it's just not in alignment with your path. You need to release this and move forward. You're just not sure how, right? Always reach out for help if you're feeling stuck. And you don't have to struggle alone, right? But you've definitely felt stuck and trapped in this situation. But, not to kind of pour salt on the wound here, you're kind of causing that yourself because you're not embracing the changes, because you're holding on to things that don't serve you and you're not moving forward. So it has you feeling trapped and stuck, but you're trapping yourself here, right? And I know that like, especially if you're leaving like a job that you've been at for 30 years, or you're leaving a marriage that you've been in for 20 years, right? Like that can feel like you're stuck and trapped, but it is up to you to make those decisions to move forward, right? You can do those things. It's just very difficult. So I feel like that's why you're holding on, because you don't want to move forward, because you don't want to embrace the changes, but you're the one keeping yourself stuck here, right? So the message from your higher self or your spirit guides is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a message, or it's not a message, sorry. It's a gift from the divine. All aces are gifts from spirit, right? So with this, they're handing like this new emotional beginning here, right? And I feel like it's time for you to pour into yourself, pour into your own cup, and um, like self-love or going after what it is that you do want for change. Stop holding on to this old situation and open up to new beginnings, right? This can be about your spirituality. This can be in focusing on self-love and taking time for you. New opportunities are an inspiration for personal development, and I feel like those are going to appear to you very soon. And this is about like enthusiasm, and again, like this cup is overflowing. So I feel like it's time for you to do what makes you happy, pour into yourself and take care of yourself. And maybe that's the why you're holding on to the situation, because you're afraid to pour into yourself, right? And you've felt empty or depleted, and you're really in need of some sort of self-care here, right? I just feel like you've been disappointed. Something didn't work out as planned, and there's been some disappointment here, but it's time to move on from that and embrace the changes that come from that. So in the immediate future here, we have the Moon card. So the Moon is about underlying fears, right? This is like dreams, illusions. This is like shining the light on things that have been hidden and bringing those things to the surface. Listening to your intuitive messages, right? To overcome any underlying fears. This is also like a card of shadow work and things like that. But this is illuminating things that have been hidden, things coming to light. So this can be about your spiritual path, you opening to your intuition, or this can just be things coming to light about how to move on. Maybe trusting your intuition to move forward here. So in your thoughts and feelings, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is feeling defeated, right? This is about like arguments, tension, manipulation. I just feel like you really are, it's time to lay the past to rest and release grudges or, anything you're holding on to. Again, this holding on to a past way of being or refusing to let go. This can be, again, grudges. This can be resentment, right? But this is just like reaching a compromise, even if it's just internally in your thoughts, right? Because swords are air energy, which is our thought process. You can also be feeling very conflicted, like mentally conflicted. How do I move forward? How do I get out of the situation, right? Like not knowing how to move forward or where to go. It can just really have you, it can have you very upset and maybe even very angry and just internally conflicted here. So in the environment, the influence here is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So you could be dealing with an air sign. You don't have to be. This is a card of clarity, speaking your truth and, cutting things out that no longer serve you. She also has very good boundaries. So I feel like maybe this is the time for you to keep your boundaries up from other people. Maybe that's, why you're afraid to move on because there are other people involved here. But this is, she has her arm out to receive, right? Her hand is out. She's open to receive, but she also has her sword up. So she's willing to cut things out that no longer serve her. So I feel like there is a need for like clarity and speaking your truth here in order to move on from this. And maybe that's even just telling yourself the truth, right? You don't even have to, this doesn't have to involve other people. I just feel like this is you needing to embrace change and really pour into yourself here. So in your hopes and fears, we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is passionate, fiery energy. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You could have that in your chart. Or you could be hoping for a King of Swords, right? King of Wands. Why did I say Queen of Swords? You could be hoping for a King of Wands, right? So the King of Wands is he's very stable, right? And he is very loyal, good leadership, and he has lots of integrity, right? But this is also about personal power and authority. I feel like this is you really wanting to be able to step into your personal power here in some area and take an authoritative role in your life. Rely on your instincts and your confidence, right? To take that and make that decision, right? So I feel like you're really hoping to find your confidence, find your voice, step into the the power and authority here. So the potential outcome is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be calling in a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You don't have to be. But the King of Pentacles, as far as energy, is stable, right? Stable, grounded. Pentacles are that earth energy. So they are very grounded and stable. This is also about like, again, like taking that leadership role, but also making a plan and then staying grounded within yourself, grounded within your emotions. And, this could also be like some kind of support, like a father figure or your own internal father figure, right? But this is like, again, making some sort of plan in order to move forward and stepping into that leadership, right? And reaching a goal. It's just about really tapping into that stable, grounded energy and planning things out because, earth energy doesn't happen overnight. It's about planning and progress, like that slow progress. So I feel like this is like just about you stepping into that King of Cups energy, stepping into your power, stepping into who you are, owning who you really are, right? Maybe that's what you've been afraid to like embrace. I just feel like there's a past situation that you're not letting go, but it's causing you this mental conflict here, right? So I just feel like there's a need to express yourself, pour into yourself, trust your intuition to move you forward, face your fears, right? It's very difficult to do, but I feel like it's very, very important. I just feel like you really need to make some sort of plan and get grounded, right? Because we have like King of Cups, King of Wands, King of Pentacles. The only one we don't have is the King of Swords, but we have the Queen of Swords, right? So you have every court card in every element here. So I just feel like this is a need to balance and stay balanced, stay emotionally balanced, but also take some sort of action here in order to move yourself forward and to get out of whatever the situation is. So I hope that that message helped, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.